Behind the scenes, a trip to a new land and strangers on a ship. Imagine this. One day, you leave your home forever. You go to a place you've never been, halfway around the world. Who and what will you meet there? Or picture this. Your family has lived in peace for years and years. Suddenly, a big group of strangers appears in your backyard. What do they want? These are the things the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag may have worried about when they met in 1620, and they're the topic of two of our issues, A Trip to a New Land and Strangers on a Ship. Hi, I'm Blair Rainsford, the editor of Scholastic News for 2nd grade. Let me show you how this unusual pair of articles came to be. It all started when I met Richard Pickering, the Deputy Executive Director of Plymouth Plantation. Plymouth Plantation is a museum in Massachusetts that teaches people about the Pilgrims. It also teaches about the history and culture of the Wampanoag. The Wampanoag are a Native American tribe from the northeastern United States. They were there when the Pilgrims arrived, and they are still there today. Richard told an exciting story about what happened when the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag first met each other on the rocky Massachusetts seashore. The Wampanoag shot arrows, and the Pilgrims shot guns. People yelled and screamed. It sounds scary, but no one was hurt. I wondered, why did this happen? And what happened next? I knew I wanted to find out and write an article about it. And then I thought, what if I write 2 articles? One article would tell the Pilgrim point of view. The other article would tell the Wampanoag point of view. Together, the articles would show how different people see the same events in different ways. The first thing I had to do to make this idea a reality was research. I love reading and learning, and that's a good thing because I did a lot of research for this article. I read books. I took notes on books about the Wampanoag and the Pilgrims. I watched documentary videos. I learned about that first meeting on the beach, life in the 1620s, and even what the weather was like that winter. It was cold. I looked at old maps of Massachusetts. I wanted to figure out where the Pilgrims landed, where they explored, and where they met the Wampanoag. Old maps are confusing, but for this part I had an extra bit of help. I grew up in Massachusetts. Remember the beach where the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag fought? I used to swim there when I was little. My last piece of research was the most fun. I interviewed Richard Pickering and Dryas Coombs. Dryas is a Wampanoag historian at Plymouth Plantation and is a member of the Wampanoag tribe. We talked on the phone for over an hour. They taught me so much. Now I had everything I needed to start writing. My next step was to write an outline. I figured out what information I would include and what order I would put it in. I wrote my first draft. Then I wrote another draft. Then I wrote another draft. I wrote 3 drafts of each article before I even showed my work to another person. Next, my editor and I read over my articles. We made more changes to the words together. At the same time, our designer laid out the articles so we could see what they would look like in the magazine. We also hired an illustrator. We told him what the articles were about, and he sent us sketches of his rough ideas for the artwork. We thought they were great. Then I sent the articles and sketches to Dryas and Richard. They told me what facts I should fix and made suggestions about how to make the illustrations more accurate. For the next few weeks, we made many more changes to the words and art. We sent new versions for Richard and Dryas to check again. And then, one day, we were finally done. The art was beautiful, the words sounded the way I wanted them to, and the history experts loved them. In October, at a printing place in Minnesota, machines printed millions of copies of my articles. Mail planes and trucks carried them all over the country, and they ended up in classrooms like yours. Now you get to do the most important job. Read them. Creating these issues was a lot of work, and I got a lot of help from other people. But it was all worth it. I'm so proud of these issues, and I can't wait for you to read them. Do you like them? What was your favorite thing you learned? Let me know. You can email me anytime. I'll be here, hard at work on your next issues of Scholastic News. Happy reading!